A threat hiding in plain sight. You slice that ham for a sandwich, you fry that sausage for breakfast, thinking you're getting your protein. But what if I told you that exact bite, that moment of convenience, is subtly spiking your blood pressure, accelerating inflammation, and laying the groundwork for a heart attack or a silent stroke? As a doctor, I've reviewed thousands of patient records, and time again, I see the same pattern: intelligent women over 60, doing everything right, but falling victim to these subtle, cumulative dietary mistakes. We focus on cholesterol and sugar, but we overlook the sheer chemical burden of some everyday meats. Today, I am pulling back the curtain on for common meats you must immediately pull out of your diet because they are silently toxic for an aging heart. But please stick with me, because there is tremendous hope. I will also share the 4 powerful meats, including the one rich in the heart battery nutrient CoQ10, that are scientifically proven to help reverse arterial damage, stabilize your blood pressure, and keep your memory sharp. Section 1. The 4 meats to avoid. We must begin by identifying the silent saboteurs. These 4 meats are common, convenient, and often mistaken for harmless protein. But they carry a heavy price tag for your aging cardiovascular system. The dangerous meat number 4, pork sausage. Pork sausage is a breakfast icon in America, but for those of us over 60, it is an absolute sodium and preservative bomb. The problem is twofold. First, the sodium level is extreme: a single serving of processed breakfast sausage can contain upwards of 500 to 800 milligrams of sodium. For older adults, where the kidneys are less efficient at filtering this mineral, this flood of sodium causes immediate fluid retention. This increased blood volume directly strains your heart and stiffens your arteries, a key mechanism of hypertension. Second, the danger lies in the preservatives. Industrial sausages are packed with sodium nitrite and nitrate to preserve color and prevent bacterial growth. When these chemicals are exposed to high heat like frying and interact with the protein, they can form carcinogenic compounds called nitrosamines. One large study in the European Journal of Epidemiology linked high intake of processed meats like sausage to an increased risk of coronary heart disease. I remember Mr. Roberts, 73 years old, a retired accountant. He came to me with persistent, low-level chest discomfort, mild angina. He had cut back on red meat, but he'd replaced it with a daily ritual of 2 large, heavily seasoned pork sausages with his eggs. When we calculated his average daily sodium intake from that single breakfast item alone, it was astronomical. Once he replaced the sausage with plain, lean ground turkey seasoned with garlic and black pepper, his angina symptoms subsided, and his blood pressure dropped by almost 7 points within 2 months. This shows that the biggest damage comes from the hidden processed sodium and chemicals. The dangerous meat number 3, deli ham and cold cuts. This is perhaps the most deceptive meat on the list. Deli ham, cold cuts, and pre-sliced lunch meats are a staple in many quick, seemingly healthy elderly diets. They are easy to chew, convenient for sandwiches, and often seen as a lighter alternative. But these meats are a quadruple threat to your heart. The main issue is the hyperconcentration of sodium. Just 3 thin slices of certain cold cuts can provide half of the daily recommended sodium intake for an older adult. This sustained high sodium intake is a fast track to chronic hypertension. Beyond the salt, cold cuts contain inorganic additives like phosphates, which are used to improve texture and shelf stability. Over time, high intake of inorganic phosphate has been linked to vascular calcification, the hardening and narrowing of arteries, and can compromise kidney function, which is critical for blood pressure regulation. One major meta-analysis published in the Circulation Journal found that consuming processed meats like deli ham increases the risk of heart failure by over 40% and the risk of death from cardiovascular causes by 24%. I monitored Mrs. Carroll, 67, who was constantly fatigued and had unexplained stiffness in her legs and feet, particularly in the mornings. Her blood pressure was borderline high. She believed she was eating a light lunch: whole wheat bread, lettuce, and 2 slices of deli turkey breast. We discovered her healthy turkey slices were loaded with sodium and phosphates. After she eliminated all cold cuts and switched to cooking a chicken breast once a week to slice for sandwiches, the stiffness vanished. Her energy returned and her blood pressure stabilized simply because we removed the chemical and sodium burden on her vascular system. The dangerous meat number 2, deep-fried chicken. Chicken, in its natural state, is an excellent lean protein. But once you coat it in batter and drop it into oil heated to extreme temperatures, it transforms into a cardiovascular hazard. This pleasure, common at family dinners or fast food runs, comes with significant long-term costs. After 60. The heat-induced damage to the cooking oil creates trans fats and toxic compounds known as oxidized lipids and advanced glycation end products ages. These compounds are highly pro-inflammatory. They directly assault the delicate endothelial lining of your blood vessels, triggering the inflammatory process that leads to atherosclerosis, the buildup of plaque. One prominent study from the Harvard School of Public Health showed that consuming fried chicken just once a week increased the risk of death from heart disease by 13%. For an aging heart, this cumulative silent inflammation is a recipe for disaster. I recall Mr. Ted, 71, who suffered a minor stroke atia transient ischemic attack after a large family gathering where he indulged in his favorite heavily fried chicken. He had no history of smoking or heavy drinking. His arteries, however, showed significant hardening. We realized that years of enjoying high-fat, high-sodium fried foods had slowly compromised his vascular elasticity. The sudden salt and fat load in that one meal was likely the final trigger. The message here is simple. It is not the chicken that is the enemy. It is the frying process and the resulting oxidative stress that you must avoid. Stick to baking, grilling, or air frying. The dangerous meat number 1, factory-farmed chicken breast as a staple. This is the most surprising and insidious meat on our list. Many health-conscious women over 60 live by the rule of boiled chicken breast and salad. They believe they are making the safest, cleanest choice. But if you rely on cheap, factory-farmed chicken breast as your daily staple protein, you are unknowingly setting the stage for chronic inflammation and nutrient deficiency. The core problem is the skewed omega-6 to omega-3 ratio. Chickens raised in crowded, industrial settings are fed diets heavy in corn and soy, which are high in pro-inflammatory omega-6 fatty acids. While they have almost no saturated fat, they have a terrible omega-6 to omega-3 ratio, sometimes as high as 20:1. This imbalance promotes systemic inflammation, which is the foundational driver of heart disease. Furthermore, over-reliance on white chicken breast leads to deficiencies in vital nutrients like vitamin B12, iron, and choline, which are abundant in darker meats and liver. These deficiencies cause chronic fatigue, anemia, and negatively impact nerve signaling, which in turn can contribute to irregular heart rhythms and cognitive decline. Miss Helen, 66, came to me with debilitating chronic fatigue, unexplained aches, and what she called brain fog. She proudly listed her diet: plain boiled chicken breast every day, salads, no red meat, no fried food. Her blood work showed low B12 and mild inflammation. Her healthy choice had led to a nutritional deficit and inflammatory overdrive. The solution wasn't to cut out chicken, but to introduce variety, switching to organic, free-range chicken when possible, and crucially, adding omega-3 rich fish and moderate portions of grass-fed beef. Her symptoms improved dramatically once her nutrient profile was balanced. Section 2. The 4 meats that are your heart's fortress. Now for the good news. By making simple, strategic substitutions, you can turn your diet into a protective fortress for your heart. These 4 meats are rich in compounds that actively reduce inflammation, improve arterial flexibility, and stabilize your blood pressure. The good meat number 4, wild-caught salmon. Almost everyone knows salmon is good for the heart, but the critical distinction is wild-caught. The difference in a wild-caught salmon diet is the naturally higher concentration of anti-inflammatory omega-3 fatty acids, specifically EPA and DHA, and a much lower ratio of omega-6 compared to farm-raised varieties. EPA and DHA are essential for reducing chronic inflammation in the blood vessels, preventing the formation of dangerous blood clots, and maintaining the fluidity of cell membranes. These are foundational elements for stroke prevention. Furthermore, wild salmon is rich in astaxanthin, a powerful reddish-pink antioxidant that is proven to protect your nerve cells from oxidative stress. One major U.S. study found that eating wild-caught salmon at least twice a week could reduce the risk of stroke by 27% and heart disease-related death by 31%. Instead of buying heavily seasoned, frozen farmed salmon, aim for simply baked or lightly pan-seared wild-caught fillets seasoned with pepper, lemon, and a touch of olive oil. Just 2 servings a week can provide profound preventative protection for your arteries and your brain. The good meat number 3, grass-fed beef. For decades, red meat was demonized, but science has shown that the harm is not in the meat itself, but in the industrial farming practices. Grass-fed beef is a completely different nutritional product than the grain-fed, factory-farmed counterpart. Cattle naturally grazing on grass produce meat that is significantly higher in beneficial fats, notably conjugated linoleic acid CLA. CLA is a special type of fat that has been shown to reduce visceral fat, the dangerous fat around your organs, and possess powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Grass-fed beef also contains a much better omega-3 balance and is rich in heart-healthy nutrients like B12, zinc, and iron. Completely avoiding red meat can lead to anemia and muscle loss, major risk factors for frailty and loss of independence after 60. Grass-fed beef provides a safe, natural way to replenish these essential nutrients. You do not need to eat a lot, just 100 grams of grass-fed beef per week, prepared simply by grilling or stewing. With vegetables provides the necessary heme iron. And B12 to support blood cell formation and maintain cognitive function, both of which protect against the subtle signs of vascular dementia. The good meat number 2, sardines. These small, humble fish are a secret weapon against stroke and osteoporosis. Sardines are a triple threat for heart health in aging women. First, they are an exceptionally concentrated source of omega-3 fatty acids, rivaling salmon, but without the mercury concerns, as they are low on the food chain. Second, because you eat them whole, bones and all, they are one of nature's best sources of easily absorbable calcium and vitamin D after menopause. Maintaining bone density is crucial, and the synergy of calcium, vitamin D, and omega-3 in one package is invaluable for both bone and heart health. One study published in the Journal of Nutrition, Health, and Aging found that older adults who ate sardines at least twice a week saw a significant increase in bone density and a substantial reduction in dangerous triglyceride levels. The simplest way to use them is to choose sardines packed in olive oil and enjoy them on whole grain bread or mixed into a salad. They require no cooking and provide dense, anti-inflammatory nutrition that helps stabilize blood pressure and protects your arterial walls. The good meat number 1, clean animal liver, organic or free range. This is the most controversial but perhaps the most potent medicine on the list. Many people avoid liver because they fear toxins or cholesterol. However, if you choose clean animal liver, organic beef, or free-range chicken liver, it becomes a concentrated source of the nutrients your aging heart and brain desperately need. Liver is a powerhouse of vitamin B12, folate, heme iron, copper, and crucially, CoQ10. CoQ10 acts as the battery for your heart and brain cells, helping to maintain energy production and vascular endurance. Vitamin B12 deficiency is a silent cause of heart arrhythmias, chronic fatigue, and cognitive decline in older adults. Liver is the single richest natural source of B12, far surpassing any white meat or fish. While liver does contain cholesterol, it also contains high levels of choline, which actively helps metabolize fat and prevent fatty liver when eaten in moderation, one small portion. 50–60 grams only 1 to 2 times per month. It acts as a powerful nutritional supplement. One analysis in Scandinavia showed that those who consumed animal liver at least once a month had significantly lower levels of homocysteine, a critical marker linked directly to the risk of stroke and vascular dementia. Do not eat it daily, but incorporate a small amount of pan-seared or stewed organic liver into your rotation for a massive nutritional boost. We have journeyed through 4 common meats that silently damage your heart and 4 powerhouse alternatives that actively protect your arteries, stabilize your blood pressure, and sharpen your memory after 60. At this stage of life, every meal is an opportunity to either build up your health or slowly erode it by cutting out the processed meats, the hidden sodium, and the toxic trans fats, and by intentionally adding the omega-3 rich fish and nutrient-dense grass-fed beef and liver. You are actively taking control of your cardiovascular destiny. My challenge to you today is simple. Which of the 4 dangerous meats will you eliminate starting tomorrow, and which of the 4 heart-fortifying meats will you commit to eating twice a week? Please leave a comment below to tell me your commitment. Your experience and choice helps inspire our entire Senior Forward Health community. If this information has given you the knowledge to have a more informed conversation with your doctor, please hit the like button, share this video with another woman over 60 who needs to hear this, and subscribe to Senior Forward Health so you never miss another piece of vital, life-saving advice from Dr. Miles. Remember, you are in charge of your own health. We will see you next time.